Hey guys, welcome to the channel, and in this video I will be doing my review of The Suicide Squad. So let's get into it. So the film centers around a group of prison inmates who have exceptional abilities like killing people with polka dots and insanely accurate shooting and so on. They're recruited to go on this mission to destroy this project that got out of hand called Project Starfish. And if they complete the mission and come back alive, they get 10 years off of their sentences. Now what happens is they find out that what they're really doing is covering up the American government's mistake in the project that got out of hand. First, I want to talk about these characters. We got Bloodsport, we got Peacemaker, Polka Dot Man, Ratcatcher, and King Shark. Now, before I talk about these characters, I want to say this. I have not read the comic books. So what I'm going to say is it came strictly from what I've seen in the film. I'm going to say that really quickly. I have not seen the comic books. I saw the film. So I just kind of pulled this from the movie. All right. So now let's talk about the characters. So first we have Bloodsport. He's a hitman in jail for killing people, and he joins the team and he leads it. So he's pretty much to this new team what Deadshot was to the original Suicide Squad. So now we have Peacemaker. He's also a hitman in jail for killing people, and he and Bloodsport pretty much throughout the film just kind of go back and forth with who's better at shooting and who's better at leading, and in the end Bloodsport is better at leading, so he leads the team. Peacemaker wants to, but Bloodsport ends up doing it anyway. So then we have Ratcatcher. She has this like insane connection with the rats. Okay, she has a special connection with rats, and she has the ability to conjure up an army of rats if need be, and that really comes in handy in the end. Now we have the Polka Dot Man. Polka Dot Man, he has this virus that made him have all these polka dots, and he uses it to his advantage by killing people by throwing lethal polka dots at them. And then we have King Shark. He is a shark who's hungry all the time and he eats people. Okay, so then we got King Shark. Now we have Wallace. We saw her in the original Suicide Squad. She's in charge of the team. We still have Rick Flag. He pretty much makes sure the team does what they're supposed to do while they're, out on the field, out doing the mission. And we still have our girl Harley Quinn. She comes in and she joins the team after escaping being chained up for killing a prince. All right, so she comes back and she helps the team. So now I want to compare the original film to this one. All right, let's compare the original Suicide Squad to the Suicide Squad. So compared to the original film, I felt like this one had a lot more bloodshed. I really do. It was like, we had Polka Dot Man slicing people, Rick Flag and Peacemaker, Bloodsport, they shooting up everybody. King Shark is eating a lot of people. It was a lot. So I felt like it was a lot more bloodshed, and I felt like it was just heightened, and I really could have did without the heightened amount of bloodshed. Not to say that the other film didn't have bloodshed, because it did. I just felt like this one took it to another level when it came to bleeding. It also seemed like this team was more focused on getting the job done rather than escaping. I felt like in the first film, as soon as they got on the street, Boomerang Man, Harley, and Deadshot was planning an escape. I felt, and I felt like they just didn't care about the mission at all. I felt like in this film, the Suicide Squad, they cared more about the mission and actually getting the job done. They were more focused. They had more tunnel vision on getting the job finished. And one more thing I want to compare from the original film and this one is the backstories. We already knew Harley's, and from what I recall, the only backstory that we actually did see in the new Suicide Squad film was Ratcatcher's, and I still didn't feel like that was enough. In the original film, we saw how they got to where they are. Okay, we saw Deadshot shoot someone, and we saw him go into custody. We saw El Diablo burn the house down. We saw Boomerang Man rob the bank. We saw that. I felt like in this new film, it was more verbal backstories. We heard about what Peacemaker did. I wanted to see. I wanted to, have a flashback or a dream or something. So now I'm going to talk about what I liked about this film and what I didn't like so much about this film. So I liked the writing. I thought the acting was really good, and I also really liked how Waller, towards the end of the film, showed her true colors. Okay, she showed her true colors. I didn't know she was going to do that again. I did not read the comics, so I didn't know what was going to happen. So I felt like towards the end she showed her true colors when she was yelling at them and degrading them when they didn't turn away and they decided to come back and kill the starfish and save everyone. She was telling them, don't do it, come back. She was getting ready to, blow their heads off with that button and everything. And I liked how they, she showed her true colors. We didn't really see that. At least I didn't catch that in the original film, and I saw that twice. So I didn't catch it. But in this film, she really showed, how she felt about them. I also really liked how, I didn't know that Peacemaker would end up being the bad guy. He would end up being the villain. He was the one trying to keep Rick from exposing that the American government has something to do with the project going south. Okay, like I said, I didn't read the comics. I didn't know that was going to happen. Compared to the original film, we, the audience, already knew that Enchantress was the one that was causing the problems. The first Suicide Squad, didn't know she was causing the issues until later when Rick told them. So I liked how, that it was that dramatic irony with it. Okay, the first film, we the audience knew who the villain was, and the team didn't. In this film, I didn't know that Peacemaker would end up being the bad guy. So that's one thing I liked about it. What I didn't like so much, like I said before, it was just a lot of the bloodshed was heightened, and I really wish that they they touched more on everyone's backstory. That's it. That's really the only thing I didn't like about it. And also there were just only a couple of times where I felt like the cinematography wasn't the best. I can't even point out exactly when it was or describe it because it was only like twice. So pretty much, overall, I didn't think that this film was as good as the first Suicide Squad. However, I didn't think that it was a bad movie. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't as good as the first one. So I'm still glad I went to see it. I'm glad, I got a chance to go and see it. And I do have a feeling that there will be a Suicide Squad 3 in the future. And when that happens, without a doubt, I will be looking forward to seeing it. I really, really will. So that's all for this video. If you'd like to give it a thumbs up and type in the comments how you felt about the movie as well. And as always, thank you for tuning in to Sanae's Take 1, and see you next time with more reviews.